Yo guys, it's up Shadow here and welcome back to Space Engineers, where I'm running out of oxygen. Apparently, I just realized that. Why am I running out of oxygen? What the heck? There we go. That never happened. That's weird. Alright, so today, since last time we completed the upper floor, more or less, well, you know, I haven't really completed the ceiling yet, but that's not that important, isn't it? I think the next bit, in my opinion, is to start on the lower floor. Now, I've already assessed the situation, and if we go back in here, this is of course the hallway of the main floor of the ship, where we have all our cool things like the med bay and... Why the heck are these... What the heck? Why are these looking like that? That is interesting. What? Why is the font size different now? Guys, is that a thing? Did that happen during an update? What the heck? Okay. I mean, shit. Well, we'll have to do that afterwards. Anyway, so what I wanted to say, here in the hallway, we have here are stairs into the maintenance floor and then subsequently into the upper floor, as we do. And we'll have the same thing basically down below. So, over here there's going to be a staircase that will lead down into the maintenance floor, and then the lower floor below that, and then probably one more which will go into the bowels. Actually, into the handle of the ship, if that makes any sense. But you know what I mean. And that means we'll have to start making what we have up here, replicating that onto the lower floor. Bam! There we go. There we started. So, I'll try to replicate this. So, I really hope I will be able to fucking do that without miscounting like 7 times. But apparently I also don't have steel plates. There we go. And then after we've done that, of course, there will be the task of actually figuring out which room goes where. That's going to be an important part. And I think on the lower floors, generally speaking, the lower floors are going to be filled with more like production and industrial kind of buildings, if that makes any sense. But I guess we'll see. You know, I'm also open for suggestions if you guys have an idea what I could put in there. No strip clubs, I am afraid. They're not industrial enough, although the music in those are probably industrial, right? So yeah, I will try to replicate this kind of the ring structure. If at all possible, then I'd like to not have to actually take a freaking circle chart to my help here, if I can do it. The question is if I actually can. Okay, let me see. So it's... Oh, we already fucked that up now, didn't we? Because there needs to be a block. Yeah, there we go. So, there we go, and then we have 3 in this direction, and then it's 2, 1, 1, 1, 3? Is that really right? 2, oh no, it's, hold on, it's 2, 2, 1, 3? Does that really make sense? I don't know. Okay, let's see. 2, 2, 1, and then yeah, we'll have to kind of fly up and figure out if that is correct. I don't know. To me, that looks not correct at all. 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1. I have the feeling there's a block missing here that is supposed to be here. Like so. Oh, this is weird. This is very weird. It really feels like I have something missing that is important. That is very strange. Well, technically, we can pretty much just go one block inward, I think, for the most part. Yeah, it's not perfect though. It doesn't make sense in that. If we could just do that, you know, in creative, I would just basically delete this block and then just pull a line down to here. Or rather, I would probably just copy-paste stuff. That's what I would do, but, you know. Yeah, that's annoying. That's very annoying indeed. Let me just fly around a little bit and see if I actually have this correct. Yeah, I think I do, for the most part. I think for the most part we're good. I'm just not 100% sure. You know? So I'm trying to get this approximately right, so that if I have to fix something, it's not gonna be like a crazy big mistake that I've made, if you know what I mean. But, yeah, that is kind of strange. 1, 2, 3, that makes sense. I think it's 2. No, wait. See, we're already wrong. 4, then 2, and then 2, and then 1. There we go, and then we go to this side where it's gonna be 2 in this direction. Then 1, 1. Ugh. I have the feeling I'm making mistakes all over the place. But I think that is correct now. For the most part. Okay. And then we'll have to actually fill in that whole floor as well. Because we're actually, well, not necessarily. We don't necessarily have to fill it in at the start. Basically, because we will have to put in like conveyor blocks and stuff like that. But we can just weld these punctually, you know, where we actually need them. For the most part. I don't think we need to actually go through this whole thing and weld it from A to Z completely. I don't think we have to do that. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, exactly. Like so. Uh-huh. Yes. Okay. I think I can see it now. 2, 3, 4. And we'll do that the same thing on the other side. All the circles make things more complicated. That's just how it is. It was so in Minecraft and it is so here. Also, it's very laggy. Or maybe is that just me? Is that just my imagination that it looks super laggy? Right, 2, 2, 1 is the next step. 2, 2, 1. Yeah, and then 2, 1. See, that makes no sense to me. Why is it 2, 1, 1? That makes no frickin' sense to me. Oh well, 2, 1, 1. Then it goes into a 2, 1, 2, 3. See, I think that is wrong. I have the feeling this is completely wrong. I might be doing a terrible mistake at this point, but I'm not sure. Okay. Let's see. 2. Yeah, see, that is wrong. And then here, there we go. Now we need another 2, and then we're going into 4, and then we should be connected with the main grid again, which we are, so technically that looks correct. Now, I don't know if it is perfect, but it is correct in itself, you know, it has an internal logic. That doesn't mean it is what we actually need, but at least is not completely broken and false and bad. But then again, I don't know if it's right. It supposedly should be, because I'm copying it from the top layer, and the top layer we have done with a frickin' circle chart, so that should technically be alright. Ugh, it's weird. Okay. 2, 2, 1, I think is how that goes, right? Yeah, I think so. And then 2, 1, 1. Okay. Oh god. I don't feel like this should be right. Oh, but what can we do, right? And then now it's going into this direction with 2, and then 1, 2, 2. There's our hollow room. That's gonna be fun to cover up. And now with 4. Yeah, see, I think now I'm actually wrong by 1. Or maybe I'm... Okay, let's see. 2. 1. Oh, yeah, see? That's where I went wrong. I think it needs to be like this. And then here... Yeah, it's completely wrong. Something is completely wrong. I think this needs to be a 1, then a 2, and then a 2, and then here it needs to go into the 4, which will then go into the 1, 2, 3, 4 center. Yeah, I think that's correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you go. Yeah, okay. That is, at least that is correct. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh god. Oh well, at least we have it in a second here. That's at least that. 2, 1, 2. It's almost like I'm decoding something. 2, 1, 2 / 4 divided by 7. No. Right. And then we have 1. Right. Then 2 in this direction. 1, 2 in this direction. Then should be the 1, 2, 3, 4. No, now see, now I'm mistaken by 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, yeah. Okay. This is the most complicated part of this equation, but after this we'll at least have everything that we need. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay, I see. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this should be a 2. Next one, C. 2, 2. Yeah, okay. I think this should be right. Alright, now we can... I think now we start with the stairway that goes down to this. Alright, let's move over. Our stairway should be back here somewhere. Right here. So there's gonna be a stair here. Oh wait, actually I think I have to move this. I either have to move this or make the stair point in another direction, because there's a stair block gonna be... Let me use the angled blocks to show you real quick. Either the stairway is going to be like here and here, which will then end up right in the wall. So that's dumb. So I think it would be better... No, don't do that. It would be better to start off from this block and then go downward in this direction and end up here on this block. That makes much more sense. I'm just gonna weld these here, just so we have like a solid base to build on. Just real quick. Also, I'm gonna use all the material up that I have. Right, now we need... what do we need? We need... tears. Yeah, we need tears. No, stairs, of course. Grated stairs with construction components and... let's see, construction components, small tubes, interior plates. How much do we need for 2? About 32. Let's get about 40 of each component. I think that should be right. I think, there we go. That should be fine. Okay, so let's slap these stairs in. So they're gonna go from this angle. Hold on, like so. Oh, yeah, no, that is not even close. I don't want the railing to be on the bottom part of the stairs. That's not how railing works. We put it there. It was a safety requirement. You never told us where to put it. There we go. Let's just weld these up real quick. And then, of course, this block here is going to be replaced by a angled block, just like so. Actually, let me turn on the lights. There we go. So, now I just want to kind of replicate what we had on the upper floor as well. We just had a 3x3 room with a doorway into the hall. Okay, that's doable. Right. So 3x3, that would be something along those lines. And then we'll have a an doorway that goes into the maintenance layer, which would be here. Perfect. And then we need, of course, a second stairway to go down, which should be right... Oh, crap. Forgot about that. I need to actually have something holding the stairs. Which is gonna be lights. Oddly enough. We're gonna use the same trick again with the corner lights. Place one right here. And by doing so, we can attach the stair to it. And now we should be able to grind away that. Replace it with this.
Energy low.
And smack another set of stairs right below this. That goes into the lower floor. And here we could either use the stair light connecting thing again. Or, well, we'll have to see. I'm actually moving one in for the for this. There we go. So the stair on the lower floor is gonna go right. Let me connect this up. Here. Yeah, that makes sense. Now, there's a special thing here because we need to actually be able to get into the handle. I think there needs to be another set of stairs, which either begins here or here. I think here is better. That will descend into this direction. This is just as a reminder. We won't do it yet, but it needs to go down there, into this direction. That's basically just here so we can plant the hallway around it. You know, because there will be, again, a hallway that leads to the middle here, and then we'll go all the way around and attach a plethora of rooms to it. And that's how we're going to do it. The rooms are probably going to be a little bit smaller than the ones we had before. Oh, hold on. Let's get about 50 each. There we go. And I have the feeling some of the rooms will incorporate things that actually spill over into the maintenance floor. Especially things like refineries, because they, of course, take more space than just a single block floor could handle. So there will be some spillage into the maintenance floor, which I think is alright. You know, just from a concept standpoint. But we just have to remind us of that fact, essentially. So let me weld this bad boy as well. There we go. Okay, so let me just see. So this part here is good. Let me actually just weld a few of these things, you know, so we have a nice little finished entry point, you know, and then we can build everything up from there. And let me make some more steel plates, just in case. Alright, let me slip into here.
No energy.
No energy! No! Ah! Stop! I've also been building some ships lately in creative. Again, some quite... Well, they're not huge, technically. They could be huger, but they're pretty good big ships. You know, they're like explorer type ships, you know, with like the basic stuff on it to survive and to get somewhere and come back alive. You know, with cryopods and everything, like pioneer ships. I think I called it, if I'm not mistaken. And my God, I miss creative building. You know, if I work on this because it's so much easier. But you know, there is a certain satisfaction in building stuff like this by hand. There is a satisfaction to that. Right. You know, since I don't think we're gonna start room designing today. It's that will take more time. But I at least want to have, as I said, like a good entry point to this. So we have that finished up and we don't have to worry about that later. And also this will kind of help us with the space requirements, you know, if we flesh this out, then we know exactly where the hallway can go, how much space we have for that, and therefore I think it's important to actually finish this up first. But yeah, let me just rattle off some ideas I have for the lower floor. So we obviously will have some sort of a refinery in some way, sense, or form. I think we'll need something along the lines of a manufacturum. I don't know if I'm gonna call it that, but you know, basically a place where assemblers are, where we can build things that the ship needs, like replacement steel plates, you know, material that we need for repairs, something like that. There's gonna be storage facilities, like cargo storage facilities. There's gonna be gas storages for oxygen and hydrogen gas, gas production facilities for sure. I'm not sure if I'm gonna put the reactor room in here somewhere. Although I think the reactor room probably will be like somewhere down here, because I want to do a big reactor, at least one, maybe two, and they're gonna be down here. Maybe a battery room would fit quite nicely in this floor here. You know, basically a battery room that will soak up energy if it's not used. Well, that's another question. Will I actually put solar panels on this ship? Because technically, from a design standpoint, I would like to not put solar panels on it, because I have the feeling it kind of ruins the aesthetic of the ship. But I am a big fan of solar panels, if that makes any sense. Yeah, I'm not sure on that yet. It's not decided, but yeah, it's a bit of a toss-up there. Oh, we didn't even weld that. Damn it. However, batteries, of course, can still be used. For example, if I'm docked to like a big space station that has lots of excess energy, it can actually charge my batteries for me, I think. So therefore, we still probably will have a battery room of some description. How big is it gonna be? I don't know. Well, we'll have something like along those lines. Gyroscopes probably gonna be on that level. I think we could have a room with gyroscopes only. The problem is we would have to have a ton of them, because a big ship like that needs a ton of gyroscopes to actually move around. And maybe they would be better fitted down here, but I think I'm gonna try to put them up here somewhere. You know. I already know I'm gonna call the room. I'm gonna call it something like gyrometrics or something. That sounds cool, right? That sounds like space engineering. Oh yes, go to the gyrometric room and recalibrate the spherical orb calculator matrix. Something along those lines I have in mind. But yeah, So that's where you will come down into the floor, this lower floor, and this is where you will go into the bowels of the ship, into the... Well, I'm not quite sure what's actually going to be down there in the end. If there's just going to be more gyroscopes, maybe. I could imagine that maybe that trigger thingy, that we might fashion that into some sort of a hangar bay for drones. Not 100% sure on that yet, but we'll see. But yeah, you know, maybe I'll also move like batteries down to the shaft there. Again, not 100% set in stone yet. It is just a creative process that is ever evolving and is subject to sudden whims of change. So we'll see about that. Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna use these last few minutes to just again, I'm gonna basically do the basic entryway here, and maybe I'm gonna put down some plates where the hallway is gonna be. I think I'm gonna like replicate the hallway on the top floor. That's probably the best idea. Although maybe that's a bit annoying to actually do, but you know, let me just start to put down all of this stuff here, because we'll need all of this. The whole bottom needs to be welded. Everything needs to be welded here. So we'll just start putting some plates down. There we go. That's gonna be very important. Also, well, because this is kind of flipped from the top side, we might run into some interesting challenges with spacing. Not 100% sure yet, but we'll see. I have the feeling we might run into some issues we didn't have on the top floor. But I don't know. Okay. So, there we go. You know what? I'm gonna get another load of steel plates, and that's gonna be all I'm gonna put in, I think. Let me just visit the top floor real quick so I can get a little grasp on how we did it up there. It's been a long time. Okay, so from the central point we went 1, 2, 3 away, generally speaking. And then we devolved into like a 2, basically.
Energy low.
And we always had the inner wall as our perimeter. How do we want to say it? Hold on. No, okay, everything is fine. I just want to say, did I make a mistake? No, I didn't. We have to, like, the inner wall is the perimeter border, and then we filled it up with these, these slopes, the half slopes, and then 3 normal slopes, and that's basically the hallway. It's a very easy design, actually, so we should be able to replicate it. Not that difficult, I think. So, for example, I believe we should just be able to put 1, 2, 3, and then I think at least the inner border. The outer border, we're gonna have to watch that we do that correctly. But I think that is the form right here. This bit. That's exactly the form we're going for this hallway type of situation. Oh, what is floating around now? A military escort of some faction we pissed off earlier. Great. Lovely. Yeah, I think this should be easily replicatable. Replicatable? Yep, that's a word now. Replicatable. There we go. That should be relatively easy. Again, the outer walls, we might want to check on those so we don't fuck these up. But the inner walls are easy to do. Thank God I've chosen such an easy design to follow. You know, sometimes if you plan stuff ahead, sometimes you don't quite kind of realize how big the benefits or the drawbacks are going to be until you get to that point. And sometimes you're like, oh, goddamn, good job to me. Well done me for doing that thing that I totally didn't foresee would influence this, you know? But hey, it's always nice to find something like that. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna do this basic inner hallway ring just right now, and then we're gonna finish up for today, I think. Also, we're running out of frickin' energy again because, you know, it's annoying. Ugh. All right. We need to get steel plates anyway, so we might do this in
No
one go
energy.
anyhow. There we go, 390, very nice. Where is my... There it is. Thank you. Also, I I just right now actually dug up like a super old game that I used to play and I'm now playing again a little bit. The first Dawn of War, with all its add-ons. What were they called? Winter Assault, Dark Crusade, and Soulstorm. I'm playing through that again, you know, through the campaign. Ah, feelings. Memories and feelings coming back to that game. It was a cool game for me, because it was one of the first, like, Warhammer themed games that I started playing, even though I was not into 40k per se back then. I was playing fantasy, not 40k. But I always had like an eye on 40k, and that was like the first game to introduce me to it. And now that I'm a bit, well, I still don't play 40k tabletop, but you know, I'm a bit more into the lore of the stuff, and I realized the game is kind of bad in that perspective. But it's super fun still. I mean, some of the voice lines in this game are legendary, and not in a good way. They're like legendary bad. If you ever played it, if you remember the metal boxes from the Chaos General, that was one of the best lines ever. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I've just been playing through that again. I've been looking at a few mods that the game has. I've been playing around with that. You know, that's one of the coolest things if you come back to an old game that has mods. Sometimes you can just come back and then look at all the mods that have been created in the last few years. And yes, there's still being mods being created for a game that old, you know? It's kind of like a never-ending thing that is going on. And that's so awesome if you can come back to like a library of insane mods that you couldn't even think of back in the day when you started playing the game. It's kind of like really refreshing, and it reinvigorates you when you play that game. Because often if you play something out of nostalgia, it kind of wears off quickly because you get it back into the old narrative again, you know, like, oh, I know that already. It always happens to me when I try to play World of Warcraft Classic. It always goes into, oh, that is cool, I remember that. Oh, yeah, I remember that. I did that 20,000 times. Why am I doing it again? You know, that kind of stuff. But if there's mods to change things up for you, that's pretty great. Because then it breaks this old narrative that you're going through. But yeah, okay. Cool. So we got ourselves the lower donut. Well, we're on the lower donut, and we're gonna improve on that next time and probably set up the hallway and maybe a few rooms already. We'll see. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.